So, we have now said that making your mitochondria work better is job one. If you do that, you improve metabolic health, you reduce your risk for chronic disease, you increase health span, and therefore you have the opportunity to increase lifespan. Well, how do you improve metabolic health? You avoid the toxins. Where are the toxins? Well, most of them are in ultra-processed food. Okay, so what is ultra-processed food? There are a lot of different definitions, depends on who you ask. To me, the best way is by the definition that my colleague, Dr. Carlos Monteiro, who actually developed the term ultra-processed food, promulgated. He is a public health epidemiologist at the University of Sao Paulo, and he has developed a system for being able to categorize the degree of processing of different foods. It is called the NOVA system, NOVA class 1 through 4. And I can explain it best with an example, and it will be very easy. Let's take an apple. NOVA class 1 would be an apple picked off a tree. NOVA class 2 would be apple slices, destemmed, deseeded, deskinned, mechanically dispersed, if you will. NOVA class 3 would be apple sauce, cooked, macerated, possibly a preservative thrown in, maybe some added sugar. NOVA class 4 would be a McDonald's apple pie. Now, is there any class 1 apple in that class 4 McDonald's apple pie? Only McDonald's knows for sure. Turns out the NOVA class 4 grouping is the grouping that is associated with all of the chronic metabolic diseases that we have been talking about. Getting that NOVA class 4 grouping down is job one in terms of improving metabolic health. The problem is that NOVA class 4 is 73% of the American grocery store. In fact, the American grocery store is basically a poison shop. You have to know how to navigate the grocery store to stay away from all of the ultra-processed foods. All right, are there simple rules for shopping? Yeah, there are simple rules. Number one, if it's not on the edges of the store, don't go into the aisles. Number two, if any given item that you want to purchase has more than 5 ingredients, put it back on the shelf. Number three, if any form of sugar, and there are 262 names for sugar, if any form of sugar is one of the first 3 ingredients, it's a dessert. Put it back. Now the question is, can you navigate the grocery store without having to do all of this? And the answer is yes, there is. We have developed a tool for you. It is called Perfect, P-E-R-F-A-C-T. It is a computer program that will access your grocery store and let you sift out all of the things you don't want to see and let you only look at the items that are metabolically healthy just for you. So if you are gluten intolerant, it will factor all of those things out. If you have a specific allergy, it will let you factor all of that out. If you have metabolic syndrome and gout and kidney stones, and you need to be on a specifically low carbohydrate, low refined sugar, low purine, low oxalate diet, if you go to the grocery store, how are you going to do that? You don't know. If you use Perfect, you will only see those items in the grocery store that are amenable to your metabolism. So this is a great way to stay out of the grocery store because it's a minefield. Best to stay out and shop by knowing what you actually can and want to eat. So there's an example of a way to get things to be better. http://perfect.co. And we are working with LifeMD to make that available to all of you. You just need to understand that the American grocery store is a poison factory. It's a minefield. You don't know where you're going to step before you get blown up. And the problem is, as soon as you walk in, you are assaulted by all the soldiers of the food industry. Buy me, buy me. They're on the end caps, they're on the shelves. They're staring at you, demanding you buy them because they have added sugar. Because the food industry has learned, if they put it in, you buy more. So we've talked about sugar. You know, sugar has different definitions, and sugar also has different names. So we have glucose, which, for lack of a better word, we can call good. And we have fructose, which, for lack of a better word, we can call poison, because it inhibits mitochondrial function. It causes binding of carbohydrate to proteins and causes reactive oxygen species, and because it's addictive. And it also affects the microbiome detrimentally, all of which contribute to chronic metabolic disease. Glucose good, fructose bad. Well, the food industry loves adding sugar to products. And the reason is because when they do, you buy more. Tried and true method. Sugar is cheap and profits go way up. Let me give you a quick clinical vignette. Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. Orange hearts, yellow moons, green clovers, pink hearts, whatever. Why are there marshmallows in the box? Because they taste good, because kids love them? Nah, that's not why. Why are marshmallows in the box? Because oats cost money and marshmallows don't. The marshmallows take up room in the box, and then General Mills sells it for a higher price point. A great business strategy. Do you want to be subservient to that? Well, these are the tricks that the food industry uses to get you to buy things that you shouldn't. So you need to know the food industry's playbook, as it were. And one of the playbooks is that they have 262 names for sugar. 262. You think you know them all? Oh, sure, you know sucrose, and you know high fructose corn syrup, and you might know maple syrup and honey and agave. But did you know panocha? Did you know demerara? Did you know maltitol? Did you know evaporated cane juice? And on and on and on. If you want to see the list, you can go to my website, robertlustig.com, and put in added sugar repository, and all 262 names will come up to prove that the food industry knows what it's doing, and you're going to have to meet them and beat them at their own game. Now, how can you shop like you're smart? And the answer is, if you, number one, eat food that doesn't have a label, that means nothing's been done to it. Because real food doesn't need a label. Is there a label on a broccoli? Is there a label on a radish? Is there even a label on a steak? No. Okay. The only food that has a label is where something's been done to it. So you need to look at every label in the store as a warning label. Not what's in the food, what's been done to the food. And if you do that, then you are a smart shopper. Number two, you need to eat grass-fed and organic when you can. Now, there are certain things where it doesn't matter. Like, for instance, you can eat fruit that is not organic as long as it has a peel that is firm and hard, like an apple or like an orange. Their organic's not important. But if it's a berry where the outside of the fruit is soft and pesticides can get into it, then buying organic becomes extremely important. Okay? In addition, when you're buying meat, you should be buying grass-fed, not corn-fed. Why? Because corn-fed beef is high in branched-chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, valine. When you consume excess branched-chain amino acids, your liver turns those excesses into branched-chain organic acids, driving liver fat. And so you end up with fatty liver disease even without sugar, because branched-chain amino acids also contribute to fatty liver. And grass-fed beef is lower in branched-chain amino acids. So there are certain rules for shopping the grocery store that will actually improve your metabolic health. And the last one is stay away from pesticides as much as possible. And the reason is because many pesticides are mitochondrial toxins. The big one is glyphosate. Now, Monsanto and now Bayer will tell you that there's nothing wrong with glyphosate. Well, if that's the case, then why did they settle a $10 billion lawsuit against people who got cancer from glyphosate? So, understand that your food supply has been contaminated. Your food supply has been tainted. And you have to navigate the minefield. My job is to help you stay away from the toxins that detract from your metabolic health. And by doing so, you will improve your health span, you will improve your lifespan, and you will stay out of the doctor's office.